Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Dougie. We're going to make turkey noodle soup today, but we're going to do it, I'm going to explain it two different ways. I have the turkey carcass from what we had prepared last week, and what I've done, I've stripped off all the meat. I have the dark meat and the white meat in the refrigerator, and I chopped up about 6 stalks of celery, 2 carrots, and 1 onion. That is our mirepoix. I'm going to roast this in the oven to bring out the brown richness of the bones so that we can make a stock. The other way that you would make this is just to use your chicken base or your turkey base to make the soup. But we're going to do this the whole way through, and you decide which way you want to go with it. But first off, I've got the oven set at about 450 degrees. We're going to pop this in there for maybe a half hour and take a look at what we have and then put that into some cold water. Come back to me in just a second. Okay, it's actually been about 45 minutes, but we got a nice brown going on this carcass and a little bit of mirepoix. So this stuff is hot. I'm going to stick it right into the pot. The breastbone and the backbone, remnants of a drumstick and a wing, thigh bone, another thigh bone. Then we're going to put the veg in. I'm going to bring this over to the sink. Put some cold water in here. I'm going to deglaze this pan. Has some stuff on it as well. So we're going to add some water to this thing. I'll probably go up here because we're going to be reducing this down slowly. You don't want to bring this to a heavy, hard boil right out of the gate or at any time, because what that does is it takes all the impurities in the fat and throws it back into the stock. What we're looking for is a clear broth, a real nice clear broth. I'm going to show you how to do that. But we're going to start with this cold water. We got our mirepoix in there, and then we're going to bring it up slowly, and I'm going to skim the impurities off the top for the first leg of making the stock. The effort is worth it. I would never throw out bones. It's almost sinful because you can make such a beautiful stock with it. And stock and soup, boom. Okay, so I've got enough water in there. I'm going to bring this over to the stove. I'm going to turn it on, but I'm going to turn it way down. Because like I said, I don't want a hard roll and boil. I just want this to come up slowly where I control it. So I barely, if you can see, I barely have it on. I'm going to bring it up slowly while I water the garden. I'll be back and we'll do the first skim together. Okay, gang, it's been about 2 hours on really low temperature, and what's happened is you get the film on the top, which is nice, and it becomes like a filter screening everything. So I'm going to do the first skim. See the broth is nice and clear underneath. We're just taking off some of this foam, some of the fat from the skin. Here. Okay, and I have one of my friends, Robin, grows a lot of herbs. I've got some sage, some parsley, and oregano, and this is a little bouquet garni, just tied off a little butcher paper. It's just not mandatory, but this is just stock profile to give it a little personalization, a little flavor. So we're going to add that to it, and it'll just simmer down. I'm probably going to simmer this thing all night long, perhaps. I'm not changing the temperature, just letting it go low and slow. I'm in no hurry. I've already had my dinner tonight. Okay, guys, it's morning. I let this thing go all night long. It's reduced about over 100%, or actually
100%.
about 60%. So you see how clear the broth is and all that? It's very concentrated, very nice. We're going to strain this now into my pot, and I'll make soup later today. Now this is the stock. Depending on how much soup you're gonna make, you could add some chicken stock to it if you like. You could add turkey stock to it, whatever you like. But this is gonna be the base to our soup, no doubt. And look how nice and rich the color is. I'm sure it's gonna need some salt and things like that for adjusting, but we have a great stock, and great stocks are great bases for soups. Okay, we're gonna start with the vegetables for our turkey soup. What we have is one nice onion. I got a big sweet onion. I've got about 6 stalks of celery. I've got a couple of ears of corn. I've got about 6 carrots. And then after everything's done, we'll add some red Swiss chard in there. Makes a nice touch on it. And plus the turkey at the very end. Okay, I'm gonna chop this up and we'll go from there. Okay, we cut up all the vegetables, the carrot, the onion, the celery. I've stripped a couple ears of corn, and I have the Swiss chard here that I took the stems off. I've chopped them up real small, very nice. I've got about 2 tablespoons of butter in this pot to get the vegetables working. And we're gonna saute this for a bit, season it up with some salt and pepper and some Old Bay. Okay, we're gonna start with a couple of teaspoons of some nice salt. Do a couple teaspoons of Old Bay. And 1 nice teaspoon of black pepper. And we'll saute this up, and then we will add our stock to it. Okay, I've got my flame up a bit. I want to get this thing going. When the vegetables are translucent, that's about the time we're going to pop the stock in there and bring it to a boil. Okay, come take a look. We're about ready to add our stock to it. Onions are turning translucent. Everything's cooking good, nice and yummy. Let me throw some stock in here. Looks like a nice ratio to me, because we still need some room in there for the turkey and the egg noodles to finish the thing off. So we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we will add our turkey and our beautiful green leafy Swiss chard. And then put the noodles in, put the lid on, forget it. It'll be hot enough to cook the noodles. So let's bring to a boil and see what we get. Get the turkey ready, and it's...
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we got a nice rolling boil right now. I'm gonna toss in a couple fresh bay leaves and my chopped up Swiss chard. We'll let that roll for a while, and I'll get the turkey prepared to put it in there. But what we're going to do too is do some tasting. It may need salt, it may need pepper, it probably does. A little more tweaking. Salt and pepper to taste. I'm going to let this simmer for about 30 minutes and come back and retaste. We're doing nice. We got a nice simmer going right now. Everything's just binding up really nice. Take a look at this. Oh, the doggies are hungry. They can smell it. So I'm going to add the turkey right now to bring in the next flavor profile, and then we'll let that simmer for a bit. Taste it, re-season it if we must, and then add the noodles at the end. But we're going to let it simmer and let it do its thing. Oh yeah. Once some egg noodles are in that thing, it's going to be lovely. It's good right now. Wow. Oh, let me give you a secret. We always got to do a couple shots of Tabasco in soup. Every soup maker does this to wake it up. Okay, I've got some egg noodles here, but it's a whole pound. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use half of it. That should be plenty. And now that they're all mixed together, I'm going to kill the heat and just put a lid on it. And they will finish gently, just as gently as how we made the stock. So we'll come back to it when it's done and do a little taste test and check it out. It's done. If you find that your noodles have sucked up all your liquid, you just add some more chicken stock to it. It's no big deal. This looks pretty good. Shall we give it a test try? It's hot, but it looks really good. Smells great. Nothing says fall like turkey soup. This is unbelievable. Very easy. I hope you guys try it. Enjoy. Peace out.